Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back down under the mat. We're here for a special episode where we do a post-WrestleMania 41 breakdown of everything that's happened afterwards, including Dave Meltzer's star ratings that have come out. So, interesting topic there. And we're also going to discuss the roast of WrestleMania, which has been leaked online in several audio files, and there's been some backlash on some comments that were made. So we're going to touch on that as well. I'm going to hand over to you so we can do Dave Meltzer star ratings because I don't know them. So Dan's going to quiz me because he loves doing that and making me look like an idiot.
Look, my favorite part of this podcast is making you look stupid. So
you are the smarter of us.
Am I?
I just have good historical memory.
You have a great memory compared to me. All right. So Uncle Dave has released his ratings for WrestleMania. Now, I would say that they aren't overly controversial.
Okay.
To give you a hint in that sense, probably a bit more critical than what the general consensus will be.
Okay.
But they are pretty well in line with what Dave would rate these kind of matches.
All right.
There's not enough.
I'll try to keep that in mind.
There's not enough near falls. There's not enough Kyle Fletcher or Will Ospreay. There's not 13 Canadian destroyers. So obviously that hinders the star ratings. And obviously these matches were all at WrestleMania 41, which is in Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, not in the Tokyo Dome. So again, that takes points off from Dave's ratings.
Yes.
First match of WrestleMania, which we both thought was the great opening match, correct person winning, Jey Uso versus Gunther. I think we said on our show that this was the best Jey match we've had and a mid-Gunther match.
Yeah. Given that, I'd say probably 3.2, 3.5.
Which one are you going to sit with?
3.5.
3.5.
I feel like I might be overshooting.
No, Dave gave this 3.75 stars.
Oh, I got close. That's pretty high for a Jey Uso match.
And I think that's probably fair, to be honest.
I'm not exactly mad about getting that one wrong.
So that one I think was fine. The New Day versus the War Raiders, which we have discussed since, that was average as hell, and probably, if you've seen SmackDown since, the Triple Threat TLC match.
Holy shit.
Way over the top of this. What would Dave have rated?
2.75.
Nailed it, 2.75. Absolutely on the mark. Bang, fireworks. He's got it. Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
I thought this was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
I remember enjoying this.
Yep.
And we know Dave doesn't like women.
Wow.
3 flat.
2.
2? Come on, Dave. Jesus. 3's a respectable rating for that match, I feel.
2.
Man. Like I said, Dave doesn't like women.
Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight.
I was meaning to try and
go
back and watch this match again because I feel like we didn't give it the right amount of attention because we had a bunch of people over, so we're like talking, getting distracted. And I remember it being a good match, but everyone's like, oh, great, it's amazing.
The moonsault into the BFT.
Oh, you loved that spot. You loved that finish.
Loved the BFT. It's my favorite.
4.25.
No, he gave this 3.75.
3.7. I'd say a lot of people are giving this over 4 stars.
Would you head to head rate Jey and Gunther over LA Knight and Fatu?
No.
He's rated them the same.
Is he just racist? Is that it?
Speaking of El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix.
Excellent segue. Oh, look.
The Battle of the Luchadors. And
I don't know whether Dave would have looked past the gimmick to like just break this down as a great match, which is what it was. I don't feel like it was 4 stars. I'm going to go 3.5.
2.75.
Jesus Christ, Dave. we got a 540 reverse senton.
I feel...
Come on.
One thing that I saw a lot of people that were talking about this match was like, it just seemed like they didn't have good chemistry and, you know, they hadn't planned things out and it just kind of got a little bit lazy. The match just
played to the last second.
Yeah, it happened the night before.
Yeah, like what are you going to do? I think given how they were able to prepare for that, they gave us a good match.
They did. Now, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's title. We know this was a bit stiff. We've seen Tiffy come out with the bruises. We both talked that
she's got a nice shine on her head.
It wasn't the greatest of matches, but they both put in the spots when they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Not our favourite match, and we think Charlotte could obviously do better, and Tiffany could probably do better. But
2 for Jade and Naomi, wasn't it?
Jade and Naomi got 2 stars.
2 stars. So this has got to be at least 3.5.
You reckon?
Dave hates women. 2.75.
1.75.
What? Oh, Dave. This is why we like doing these segments. Like, a lot of people shit on Dave's star ratings that they don't matter anymore. But we get fun content like this, you know?
I like
That's
doing
ridiculous.
I like doing this
as much as I hate Charlotte. No way that match was 1.75.
No way that match was worse than Jade and Naomi.
No.
Well, actually, no, maybe. But Jade and Naomi wasn't a 2-star match either.
No.
All right. The main event.
Oh.
Of night 1.
5-star class.
Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. With obviously the double turn of Paul Heyman at the end.
Did he ever rate Bloodline matches well? Because I feel like Bloodline matches are very story-driven, which is what we got to finish this match. Very story-driven.
Yep.
But I can't ever remember Dave rating those Bloodlines well. So I'm going to go 4.5.
Okay.
I bet I'm going to regret that decision. I don't know if he would have given that 5 stars.
4.75.
Close. He does this a lot. He gives close. There's a very, very little that he gives out 5-star matches.
Correct. I feel like that was as close as he's going to get. It's pretty close. Night 2 kicks off with Io Sky defeating Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley to retain the women's world title.
5 easy, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah. Like that match, the competitors who were in it and what they were able to do in that match to kick off night 2 of WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best women's matches I've seen in my life. 5 stars.
Dave Meltzer has never given a women's WWE match 5 stars. Until night 2 of WrestleMania, where he gave this match 5 stars.
Fucking Australia, mate.
You got it.
Very happy.
I think that's a justified 5-star match.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely was.
I don't know how that couldn't have been a 5-star match.
Drew McIntyre defeating Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight with that fantastic Claymore against a chair to finish it. Massive table
spots. At work, lol. 3.75.
3.75 is unders. Dave went a 4.25.
Okay, that's not bad.
4.25 for that match. He quite enjoyed it.
All right. I feel like I should probably go back and rewatch that.
Yeah. Dominic Mysterio defeating Finn Balor, Braun Breaker, and Penta for the IC title in a fatal 4-way match.
4.75.
You reckon he's that high on it?
I reckon that was close to the women's match. But the women's match was much better.
4.25.
Oh, 2.5. Come on, Dave.
Yeah, no, same as the Drew McIntyre match. I disagree with that. I think the 4-way was way better.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least a 0.5-star rating better. I agree with you. Randy Orton defeating the surprise returning Joe Hendry.
We know Dave doesn't rate. Did you just not rate it because it was too quick? Yeah. He just doesn't like quick matches. That was an amazing spot.
Yep.
But I guess that's the whole point. It was like, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
That was a moment.
That was a WrestleMania moment, correct. Yeah. All right. Logan Paul defeating AJ Styles. The drone spots, all of the high-flying spots.
I feel like this didn't quite live up to the expectation.
Pulverizer.
3.75.
Oh, you were close. 3.5.
I was going to go 3.5. God damn
it. The co-main event of night 2 was Becky Lynch, or returning Becky Lynch, and Lyra Valkyria defeating Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. What?
Dave hates women. 2.75.
2 stars flats.
Fuck off, Dave. You misogynistic piece of shit.
Admittedly, the match that they had as the rematch on Raw was way better than the WrestleMania match. It was. But I also feel like that was deliberately done.
Yeah.
In that the WrestleMania match was the return of Becky, and then the actual match was on Raw.
Yeah.
And then the final match the main event
Oh, I don't reckon he would have
of WrestleMania 41. John Cena defeating Cody Rhodes to win the WWE Undisputed Championship and ruin wrestling. Uncle Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
3.25 star rating.
You're kidding me.
I don't reckon he would have rated it that high.
This is John Cena.
Oh, never before seen 17. We
and
know.
Cody Rhodes.
But I don't think the match.
Travis Scott.
Fine, I'll bump it up to a 4.
Fiend.
Bump it up to a 4.
Bumping it up to a 4. Mate, he gave it 1.75 stars.
You baited me there. Jesus
Got
Christ.
him.
Ridiculous.
1.75 stars.
Looks like he ruined wrestling for Dave Meltzer too.
Like, looking at those star ratings, I don't disagree with too much from it in terms of general consensus for his opinion.
Yeah.
But I feel like he definitely undersold some of the women's matches. And I probably would have said that the Triple Threat Night 1 was a 5-star match and the women's one was probably 5.5 to me. Yeah. Because you look at what he's given, like Will Ospreay shows up to Dynamite and gets a 5-star match based off what Dave Meltzer says.
Yeah.
And I think that women's triple threat was as good as any of those Ospreay matches that he has because of the spots that all three of them put in, the emotions and everything like that. Like that, to me, hit that level of an Ospreay match to start with. And then being at WrestleMania for the title, opening the show, everything around it, and the women's match, I think it 5.25. I think that was just, I mean, it was better than the triple threat, but I think Dave's undersold a couple of them.
Well, I've said it repeatedly while we've been discussing this today and previously. I feel like he just lowers the value of women's wrestling lower than it should go. Well, women's wrestling at the moment, these days, are some of the most entertaining matches that we have on the cards.
Well, he gave Mariah and Tony 5 stars in that Hollywood match.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
And that was a very good match.
Yeah.
So he can do it. But yeah, I tend to agree that, but we were talking about this on our Discord for our people that are hanging out there with us. I put these star ratings up yesterday and made Reece not look at them, so he didn't know what they were. The general discussion around Meltzer stuff was like, A, is he still relevant? Which may or may not be true. But my point is that there is now a style of wrestling that Dave looks for that he grades higher than others. And it is now the AEW style of wrestling. It is the Carl Fletcher, It is the Will Ospreay, it's the Kenny Omega, it's the Takeshita, big hitting, like knockout
finishing
shots.
Moves, kicking out at 2.99.
Of 13 times in the match, that happening over and over again and building the emotion and the tension of, is it going to finish? Is it going to finish? And then some incredibly acrobatic finishing move that finishes it off. That to him, 5 stars.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that the triple threat for the men with Seth, Roman, and Punk didn't have quite as many of those kind of spots, but I think the emotion of the story in it was better than anything you get otherwise.
They're like old school story that they told throughout that match. And like, how are they going to coexist in the ring? How are they going to fight? Like, you saw Seth and Roman for a brief second. They were going to throw it back to Shield days, and then Roman's like, nah, we're not having any of that anymore. Off you go, Seth.
But then also that spot where I think Roman speared Seth, then Punk, GTS, Roman, and then Seth stomped Punk, and then all three of them went down. That was so perfectly done and timed. You can't get a better spot in wrestling than that.
Yeah.
I think that was superb. So, yeah. Is Dave old and outdated? Possibly. He's still got a fairly decent idea, and it's fun. It's like we said, it's fun to sort of judge what he judges. Now, what maybe wasn't as much fun,
the roast of WrestleMania. So, given the backlash that's been coming out online, it was a no phones event.
That's the next pay-per-view is Backlash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smart.
It's in St. Louis. 2 weeks' time.
Given all the online discussions.
The discourse
about the leaks to this match. So there were sections of audio recorded from the show, and someone leaked the entire show as an audio file, from what I've read.
Okay. I haven't listened to any of this yet.
And I've not listened to anything. I've seen a couple comments here and there.
Did they have to sign NDAs like we did for the Undertaker show? Still hate you for that job.
So I think given that this was meant to be a no phones, no recording type event, and it's leaked out online, given the information that's come out since, I can see why they made it a no recording. It's not going to be televised thing, because just some of the comments I've seen so far are pretty. Mr. Tony Hinchcliffe is, by all means, a comedian.
He is a human being.
A human being. I don't think his type of comedy resonates with a lot of people. And comedy is such a sensitive thing these days because everybody is more sensitive and not willing to tolerate shit anymore. So I've got 18 dot points that I found on Reddit from this leaked audio file. So we'll go through some of those.
Yeah.
Number one, Jinder Mahal wasn't at WrestleMania because he was having a midlife ISIS.
You sure you want to say this on our podcast and put this on YouTube?
We do not support these.
This is quoting.
This is quoting.
Alleged quoting.
Yeah. Kicking it off with that, it's going to give you a bit of an insight into what these jokes were. Very insensitive, at times very racist, and very...
Again, to set the context, that is what a roast is.
Yes.
If you've ever watched a comedian's roast, like the roast of Tom Brady, the roast of whoever you want.
They don't pull punches.
Absolutely. Like one of my favorite roasts was the roast of Pete Davidson. And it's
like everyone's joking about his dad being dead.
Yeah, but like, what was the joke? It's Jimmy Carr says it, where he's like, this, people making jokes about 9/11, that's not very funny. This isn't the roast of Pete Davidson's dad. That was September 9/11. But like, that's the joke you get in a roast. But also, when you go to a roast, that's what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
And I don't think...
somewhat expect it. And I think getting snippets out of context as well.
Oh, for sure. But I also don't think the WWE and maybe the wrestlers understood that context.
Yes.
Like, I think that they're all superstars and they're all big megastars and they're all very egotistical, because if you're not, you've got to have a massive ego to walk around in your underpants on television and be proud of yourself. When someone comes and makes horrible jokes at you, I don't think they're going to take it well. And I think that hopefully WWE have learned, don't do a roast again. I don't think this is a good idea. No. And I don't think anyone thinks it was, now that all these jokes are coming out on Reddit, because they get worse.
Should we go through them all?
Look, you pick a couple of the pearlers, because I know there was like...
So the few that I've seen already, like the first few.
Yeah.
So at WrestleMania, Jey Uso was the underdog, which is what Nakamura ate for dinner tonight. Paul Heyman made jokes about Maurice's private parts and also said that Shayna Baszler had a penis. Jacob Fatu became the US champion, which is crazy because if the president of the United States saw Jacob, he would deport him to El Salvador. Naomi and Jade Cargill had their match. When it comes to their rivalry, we've only just begun.
It's because of the hair.
I get it.
Yep. That's a pretty bad joke.
And they will face off again at In Your Waffle House.
Because African Americans love waffles. Yep.
Wow. CM Punk is straight edge from drugs, alcohol, and winning at WrestleMania.
That's a good joke, though. That is just a good joke.
It seems like they're kind of lessening the severity of them as we go, which is good. Jey Uso is still out celebrating and hitting the bar, and history shows he'll have a nice drive home tonight. That one's good. Because DIY. Yeah. Charlotte Flair appeared to be the main source of attack, as there were several jokes made regarding her divorce and plastic surgeries.
Wow.
Very sensitive topic for her, I'm sure.
I mean...
Where's the joke?
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
There was a joke about Allegiant Stadium being so big and black that Hulk Hogan wouldn't let his daughter anywhere near it. Oh, no.
So I listened to Paul Heyman on the Pat McAfee show, and he kind of went through and said that he felt really good about it because he got to go and show up all of these comedians in their own world.
Yeah.
Because, if you watched before WrestleMania, Tony Hinchcliffe was on SmackDown?
Yeah.
Or Raw?
Raw.
He was on Raw.
With a terrible commentary.
And he sucked. He was so bad. But it seems like, these superstars and all these celebrity guests come into the wrestling world and think they can show them what they're doing. And Paul essentially was saying to Pat that, like, you put a microphone in my hand and I'm untouchable. And I don't care where you are. I will melt you. And so he went to this roast to go ham and to show them all up and to prove I don't need to be a roast comedian. I don't need to be a trained comedian. I don't need to do this. Give me a microphone and I'll be better than you are. Yeah. And he did not miss. And I think that is probably what a lot of people's highlights, from what I've seen online at least, was that Heyman just went to town on everybody. And although
seems like it.
But I think from a wrestler's perspective as well, if you have Paul Heyman coming out and making a joke about Shayna Baszler because, she always puts people in the queue for you to catch because, she wants to hug them from behind because she's got a penis or whatever, right? That's funnier to me coming from Heyman as someone who understands the business and understands those people than some comedian who goes, she looks like a bit of a butch. Oh, I got it. Maybe she's got a dude. So I think that the context behind it makes it, I guess, not necessarily agreeable, but you can understand it more knowing the context coming from the wrestlers. Because I think Braun Strowman had a crack, Miz had a crack, and Paul Heyman, plus like Fluffy and things. And Fluffy got like destroyed by everybody else on the stage. Like he got really destroyed from what Paul Heyman was saying. So look, I think
we're going to stop with the quotes there.
From everything, absolutely. Let's not talk about any more racist stuff. But I think from everything that we can talk about from WrestleMania week, there was obviously the SmackDowns, there was the Hall of Fame, the Slammies, the NXT, the roast. Every night there was a guest at like the nightclubs and the casinos and stuff. Like there was so many things that happened. It was obviously the highest gate of WrestleMania ever. They sold the most tickets.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So let's just leave it in Vegas than in the past.
And I think that they need to learn that maybe this isn't something we need to put on our list of events when we do these shows again. We don't need to do another roast.
I think especially
leave the stage shows to The Undertaker. Leave your Hall of Fame for your jokes where Triple H can talk for an hour and a half about everything. Like, just leave it there.
Yeah.
I don't think you needed this. And I don't know, maybe a few people let off some steam and a few jokes that they wanted to get some stuff off their chest. But from the discourse and the backlash online,
there are worse ones.
There's definitely worse ones.
Yeah. We're going to wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know if there's any particular content that you want us to make. We'll put in the effort and we'll make it for you.
Another WrestleMania predictions video.
Yep.
Royal Rumble winner 2026.
Predicting WrestleMania 42, 12 months in advance.
Ready? Not CM Punk.
No.
Yeah, it's in Saudi Arabia, so he's not going to go to it.
Oh, I forgot it was in.
Yeah. So that's my early prediction. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. CM Punk will not win the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia.
Spoilers. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time down under the mat.
Too sweet.
Too sweet.